that I never see. I'll never see them once. You'll never bring them to the office, ever. Right? Well, if they never come to the office, what are they going to do?
Nothing.
Zero, right? Okay, so if you look at the funnel being bringing people in, right, filling out their IBA, the funnel being an RVP out at the bottom, the biggest hole in the funnel is this. You guys are not very good at this. So you've got to master this. This is one of the 7 fundamentals of this business, is being able to get people you bring in into the field and get them productive and plugging into your business. Okay, that is a huge, huge priority. Most people aren't very good at it, right? So I get about 80% of the people I recruit direct will come into the office at least once, right? Okay, and about half of them that I recruit direct get licensed and go on and become somewhat productive, right? So you've got to look at those numbers and understand where you are and follow the process and the system and set the right beliefs and expectations with your people, because your people are going to do what you expect them to do and what you inspect them doing. So you better get good at it. And again, this is the biggest hole in the funnel. When I watch, right, this month we're going to recruit 200 people, probably 150 out of this office, okay? But there are only 150 of you here, and most of you have been here before. So where are they, right? You're not plugging them in, right? Listen to me. You get recruit credit for taking an IBA, that's true. But you need to recruit human beings into your business, not IBAs, right? How many of you have made money off an IBA before? Yeah, me neither, okay? You make money from people engaging in the business that take you to places and become independent trainers. That's what you're building. So you need to remember that. Your job is to take that person and say, yes, I'll pay $124 to give this a shot, and get them here, get them plugged in, get them in the field, and get them succeeding and making money. That is your job, okay? So you set the tone for the success or the failure of your people here. Right? Not just for you, but for your people. How you help them in their first 30, 60, and 90 days determines a lot about the trajectory that they're going to have in their business. Okay? Good? Good luck. Huh? Unless you want to sit on the floor right there. Come on in, baby. Okay, so you're going to set this up for success or failure for your people, okay? So get that in your head. All right, so listen, orientation must be completed within 24 to 48 hours of recruiting people, always. Now, let me give you another tip. Should you ever do the orientation on the recruiting appointment?
No.
Why?
Because information overload.
It'll overload them. Some of you like, you got time now? Yeah, and they're all excited, and 2 hours later, like, I've been thinking, right? You gotta, these are babies. You gotta feed them little by little, right? Okay? So information overload isn't good. You want them leaving you excited about the possibilities, ready to learn, not overwhelmed with information, scared to death, right? Do you understand? So you get the orientation completed within 24 to 48 hours. So you do the IBA, you schedule their class, and you schedule an orientation, okay? Within how long?
24 to 48
hours. Always, when you're on the orientation, email them the orientation packet and make sure they get the CDs. This is a big part where you guys miss it. How many of you give the new associate, appointment setting, and overcoming objection CDs to all your new recruits on an orientation? Okay? You all write that down if you're not doing that. Why? Because you need them to be hearing your message and getting time and understanding into the business without you being there. So you do the orientation, we'll go over that in a second, right? When they leave the orientation, in their inbox, they need to have a copy of that orientation, and they need to have some CDs they can walk out. You say, hey, when you leave here, Ryan, put this new associate CD in the car, text me and let me know what you thought.
Why email them and not give them an actual packet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't carry packets with me. I show them on a,
either or.
Yeah, it's either or, doesn't matter. You want to give them a paper packet, wonderful. Right, I just don't carry them. Right, so I have it on email, I just boom, ding it over to them. Either way is fine. In their email, they can go back and get it multiple times. They lose it, something, it's just easier for them to access, I think, long range. Right? Okay, so give them the CDs. So the CDs are working on them even without you working on them. Right? New associate, okay,
appointment setting
and overcoming objections. By the way, the 5-pack of CDs cost how much?
$1.
$1. And you don't even, if you want to make your own, make your own. We're barely even covering the cost of having somebody go to the store and make these things, right? Okay? So we're not making money on them, but we want people to have that so that they stay engaged in the business, right? So make your own or buy them for a buck, but get them into the hands of your people. By the way, do not give them the presentation CDs, right? Because again, information overload. We want to control the flow of information so they're focusing on only the most important parts. You understand that? Okay, lots of you are like, man, they're telling them all these things. They're like, okay, just little bit by little bit. Let them get good at the basics as we go, right?
So out of the 5 CDs, you recommend the new associate?
New associate, appointment setting, and overcoming objections, because those are the things they're going to need right away, right? They don't need to know how to present right away because they're going to be with a trainer, right? Okay, so next, so here's what I always say when I'm sitting down with somebody. So I'm sitting down with Phil to do the orientation. I'm talking about it. Say, Phil, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through an orientation. I take all my new people through. And Phil, listen, there's a right way and a wrong way to learn this business. Which way would you like me to teach you?
I said right.
Okay? You always ask this question. And most of them will say, well, the right way. I say, well, I'm going to teach you both ways. Because it's important to know what to do. Sometimes it's just as important to know what not to do. And I'm going to frame that because in the orientation, I'm going to help them avoid some of the common pitfalls. Right? By telling them, here's what not to do. This is a common thing people do wrong. So I'm going to preface it by doing both. Every once in a while, you'll have someone say, I want to learn both. You know you got a sharp guy there when they're telling you that, okay? So, you know, Phil, there's a right way and there's a wrong way to learn this business. Which way would you like me to teach you? And you wait. And you say, great, I'm going to teach you both, okay? Because I want you to know what to do and I want you to also know what not to do, okay? So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to show them the stool. I'm going to say, Aristida, the best way to think about building this business in the beginning is to think about it like a 3-legged stool. If you have a 3-legged stool, Aristida, it'll be strong and stable and you can balance, right? Aristida, what would happen if you had a 2-legged stool?
I would fall over.
Yeah, you're going to fall over. And the same thing's going to happen in this business. There's 3 things we need you to be doing simultaneously in the beginning that if you do them together, you're going to have a lot of success, okay? You're going to have fun. You're going to think, wow, this is simple. You're going to make money at this. See how I'm getting their mind to think about what I want them thinking about, right? Okay, I would say, and you're going to have a lot of success. It's going to seem fun and easy. Now, Aristida, if you only have 1 or 2 of those legs, what's going to happen?
I'm going to fall over.
Yeah, it's probably not going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to understand we got to be doing all 3 of these things. The good news, Aristida, is you can do all 3 of these things in 5 or 8 hours a week, maybe even less. Okay?
I can do that.
All right, so let's go through them. They're all equally important, Aristida. None is any more important than another. Okay, so I'm just going to start here. And let me make this bigger, hopefully, if I can. 1 second. There we go. So I'm going to say, Aristida, the first thing I want to talk to you about is field training. Okay, that's really like on-the-job training. So Aristida, think about what you do right now for a living, okay? You are a builder, okay? So the first day you showed up on a job on a construction site, you didn't know everything there was to know about that, right? You showed up, and you learned by other people doing what?
By showing
Teaching you, right? You showed up, and people who knew what they were doing taught you what to do. That's the same thing that we're going to do here. It's called field training. And that's where you and I, or you and one of my trainers, is going to go out and we're going to see between 10 and 30 people is our goal in the next 30 to 60 days, okay?
I can do that.
And that's going to be enough people, Aristida, that you're going to learn the process. You're going to see the process, and you're going to pick this up, and you're going to say, wow, this is really simple. It's a pattern. I can do this. Okay,
right.
So that's our goal, is 10 to 30 people in the next 60 days that we can show this to, okay? And during your field training, you're actually going to have the ability to earn a couple of promotions as well as a little bit of bonus money, okay? So let me show you that now to make sure that you understand that, okay? And then what I do is I go on to the comp slides, right? So let me explain this to you and listen to exactly what I'm doing in the process that I'm showing. The most important thing that people need to understand leaving this slide is why they need to get to district leader and why that's good and how overrides work. Okay? So that's the most important thing. Some of you talked about how much money they can make on their personal sales. I'm not interested in that. I want them to understand recruiting is good. Okay? Right? So I say, Aristida, in Primerica, there are 7 pay contracts ranging from rep, which is 25%, going all the way to regional vice president which is 110% plus some bonuses.
I like that.
Now, Aristida, what is this a percentage of? This is a percentage of a first year's premium on a life insurance policy. Okay, why life insurance? Well, life insurance is the foundation of your financial plan.
Okay.
If you're alive to make money, Aristida, you have some control over, do I get a second job and make more? Do I pay it to debt? Do I save it or invest it? Right? You're in control.
Right.
If we're not alive to make money anymore, the only thing our families have to navigate the entirety of their financial future was that.
Got it.
So that's the most important part, okay? These things correspond to other products that we do, but this is the first and most important part of their plan, okay? Now, Aristida, the average client pays about $1,000 a year for their life insurance, about $85 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Some pay more, some pay less, but that's the average, okay? So Aristida, if you were the low guy in the totem pole and you got a 25% commission of the $1,000 sale, how much money did you make, Aristida?
$250.
And I let him say that, $250. So it's not bad for an hour's worth of work, right, Aristida?
Right.
So even as a low guy in the totem pole, you can make some pretty good money, like way better than a part-time job or something, right?
Way better than a builder.
Yeah, way better, okay?
Yeah.
But watch this. In your first 30 days, Aristida, so, we joined yesterday, so 29 more days, you have the ability to earn 2 pay grade increases. So I want you to understand this. The first, when we get you one agent recruited on your team and we do one insurance client, okay, and you go to class. Now, we got your class scheduled.
Right.
So we just get one agent, one client. You're automatically going to promote to 35%.
So I have to pass my test?
No, you don't have to pass your test, okay? So you just have to go to the class, get one recruit, one sale, okay, with your trainer, and you're going to automatically start at 35%. So once you're licensed, Aristida, your average commission went from $250 to what?
$350.
To $350.
You're not kidding me.
So it's an extra $100 per transaction that you're doing, okay?
That's cool.
All right, very good. Here's really what you want to be doing, Aristida, is we want to get you to something called district leader, okay? So when you do 3 recruits and 3 sales in your first 30 days, and you go to your class, you're going to promote to a 50% contract, which means once you're licensed, the average transaction you're doing is going to be worth how much to you?
500?
$500, right?
All right.
For an hour's worth of work. So you see, if you did that once or twice a week, you could make some pretty substantial money here, right?
Got it.
Now, Aristida, I need you to follow me on this. Listen to you all. Listen. This is where you'll make or break this page. You need your people to understand this. To say, Aristida, I need you to follow me on this because I want you to understand why this works so that you do that and you get other people to do it. So, Aristida, it's unlikely that you will be actively licensed in your first 30 days, okay? The reason why is we're going to class next week, probably going to take a few days to pass, and then the state's going to take a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on how backed up they are, to give you your license. So even though we get through class and get licensed quickly, we're not going to get active with the state probably in your first 30 days, okay? So I want you to understand this. If you're not licensed on those first 3 sales, are you going to get paid directly for the first 3 sales that we do?
Are you telling me I'm not?
Shake your head
No.
like this. No, you're not. Why not? Because you're not
licensed.
licensed, okay? But we understand you want to be paid, Aristida, so we pay you in 3 ways, okay? So let me explain that to you.
Okay.
The first way is we've doubled your pay grade from 25% to 50%. So forever, for an unlimited amount of sales into the future, you're getting paid twice as much as you would have been getting paid without that.
Okay.
Do you understand that? So very quickly, you're going to make back what little money you might perceive to have lost at the 25% contract on 3 deals by getting paid double on 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 deals. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. The second way that we're going to pay you is we're going to give you a little bit of a bonus. Okay, it's $300 total for going through that. So it doesn't matter the size of the app, so they'd be small, they can be big, doesn't matter. We're going to pay you a little bit of money for your time having done that, okay?
Okay.
The real pay, Aristida, is here. And this is where you guys need to understand. This is make it or break it for you, okay? The real pay is this. In addition to the 3 sales that we got you, Aristida, what else did we get you? 3 whats?
3 recruits.
3 recruits. Now, Aristida, what do your 3 recruits have to do in their first 30 days to get to district?
Now I'm getting it.
They do what?
Their own 3 by
They do the same thing. So if we take your 3 people and they each get 3 sales, that's how many sales, Aristida?
9.
That's 9 sales. Now your 3 people aren't licensed, but you are. So Aristida, who's going to make the money on those 9 sales?
I gotcha.
Who?
Me.
You.
Yeah.
And you're going to make them at what level?
At district
50
leader. Yeah.
instead of
25.
Aristida, do you understand why this is good?
I'm on board.
So
You need to explain to them the leverage of people.
Yep.
You need to explain to them, right? If you don't explain this to them, they want to know, why is this guy taking my sales? I'm not going to have any sales, blah, blah, right? They think in limited miniature mindsets. If you explain to them the process that we go through, right, it makes total sense. Not only am I getting more on every sale I do forever, but I have people bringing me sales, not just me bringing in sales, right? Do you get that? Okay.
Yep.
So I say, Aristida, let me show you how an override works. Let's pretend you're a regional leader, and so you're at 70%, and you do a $1,000 sale. How much money are you getting?
700.
$700. Now you're making pretty good money, right?
I like that.
Now, Aristida, let's pretend you recruited me, and I'm a district leader on your team. You train me, I got my 3x3, I'm licensed, I know what I'm doing. I go out and do a $1,000 sale. What am I getting paid, Aristida?
500.
500
Yeah.
bucks. What are you getting paid on my sale? You're getting the difference.
The difference, okay? So
Right.
that's 200.
200. And
Okay.
Aristida, what did you have to do for that $200?
Just train you and that's
Nothing.
it. Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you found me, you trained me, but on that specific sale, you were on the couch, I made the sale, they sent you $200.
I want 15 of those.
Aristida, do you understand why that's good?
Yep. I want 15
Okay.
of those. Yep.
What if you had somebody who did 10 sales this month? What would you make?
10 times 2 is 2,000.
About $2,000.
Yep.
Doing nothing.
I like
nothing, okay? Right, so I'm going to teach you how to do that. Do you
I
understand?
like that.
Do you have any questions on what we've just gone
No,
through?
let's get started.
Okay, very good. So that's how you explain going to district leader and why they need to do it. You want people thinking, I need some people to start bringing me some people. If they understand that, they go off to the races. They don't understand that, they move slow. Right? You get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Very good. So, your people will do what you expect them to do. So if you expect them to go to district and get other people to district, that's what they're going to do. Or they're at least going to try. Okay? How many of you are new within the last 30 days? Shouldn't be too many of you. Just one, I let you in here, right? Okay? So you better go district. What do you think, guys? Do you think this guy should go district?
Yeah.
Okay. Right?
Get it, Travis.
He's thinking about it. He's like, I don't know, man. I'm not convinced, right? So your people are going to do what you expect them to do. And they're going to turn around and pour that expectation into their people. And that's where most of you will lose your duplication, is you're not going to be duplicating that master copy, right? And so they don't duplicate anything, and it just kind of builds a castle made of sand, right? If you get people to district, you sell them on why they need to be there, okay? They're good. Everybody good with that? You understand? Okay. So, help them understand the power of going to district leader, right? Promoting districts and getting overrides. Going back to this, right? So I bring them back to the thing. So I say, Aristida, the second thing we want to talk about, the second leg is getting your life insurance license, okay? Now, we're already in a 2-day class.
Yep.
Okay, Aristida, we want to take the test 2 to 3 days after taking that class, at the longest.
Right.
Okay? Because if you wait longer, you're going to forget what you learned.
Yep.
Okay? So Aristida, it's 100 questions, multiple choice. So they give you the answers. You just need to find them. Okay? 72 is a pass. If you don't pass, Aristida, and you follow the information that I'm going to give you here in this packet, they will pay for you to take this exam an unlimited amount of times. Okay? You take it every 24 hours. And you're going to pass, but if you don't, it's not a big deal.
Right.
Now, Aristida, let me give you some coaching on here. Okay? I would rather you fail 3 times and pass on the 4th time in a week than you get a 99% 4 months from now. This is about you getting it done, not about you being the best in the world at it, okay?
Fair enough.
Do you understand that?
Good enough is good
Okay,
enough.
very good. So when you go to class, they're going to ask you to schedule the exam while you're in there. You need to do that, okay? And that way you get it done. When you went to school, Aristida, they didn't allow you to pick the date of your final exam, right?
Nope.
If they did, you'd still be in kindergarten. Okay? So they gave you an exam date and you prepare. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to give ourselves a date and we're going to prepare. Okay? Do you have any questions on this, Aristida?
I will pass.
Okay, very good. So you need to set the expectation for licensing with your people. Okay? Your people, especially smart people, right? They want to do well on the test. Doing well on the test has absolutely nothing to do with how well you're going to do here, right? Okay? That's what the state says you need to know legally to make money at this. Okay? You're going to use 5% of what you learn on that test on a regular basis, and 95% of you're never going to see. Right? Okay? So you've got to set the expectations because, again, people will do what you expect and what you inspect, right? So if you're not setting expectations, again, you're going to have people, they took their class and 5-6 weeks from now, they still haven't tested. Then they go and they get smoked because they don't remember any of it. Right? Questions on that?
What was
Nope.
the number of questions that you had to get right?
72%. Okay? So, again, set the expectation to complete class or to complete the test within 2 to 3 days. Set the expectation around passing, right? You're going to pass. If you don't, it's not a big deal. Now, listen, when they go to take their test, right? Okay, I tell them, John, listen, when you schedule your test, I need to know the date and the time that you schedule that for. Do I need to know that? No, I do not. But I want to know it so I know when he's going in there, right? Because if he comes out, right, his test at 1:30, I haven't heard from him at 4:30, what does that mean? Right. So I need to know that so I can tell him, hey, man, listen, you got it the next time. What'd you get? Oh, you got a 50? Dude, you're going to be there. You just need to get a little better, right? And you coach them. You nurture them, right?
They take it the next day?
Sure. They take it every 24 hours if they want.
It takes 24 hours before you can
reschedule it, but you can take it that same day if you wanted. So you could call in say you have to do it on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. You say you have 2:30, and they'll allow you to come in, right? It's unlikely you could do that. It's generally every 2 days is really what they'll be doing, right?
You have to have them call, because if you do it online, it ends up being 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you need to call.
I didn't.
Yep, you need to call. Okay, so going back to the stool, this is what I'm going to say. Now listen, Aristida, what I'm going to go over with you right now is where most people blow this, okay? So I want you to pay extra special and close attention to what I'm talking to you about, okay? And that is meetings and conference calls, okay? So I run 3 hours worth of trainings and conference calls a week. 3 hours. That's not very many hours, right? Okay, 168 hours a week is a very small time. This is the most important 3 hours you could have in this business. And here's why. Okay, Aristida, the right way and the wrong way to think about it are like this. The wrong way is how an employee would think about this. I don't get paid to come to these things. They're far away. I'm busy today. And that would make sense if you were working for somebody else, right? But this is your business. You own it. So follow me on this. Here's the right way to think about it. Sooner than later, Aristida, we're going to have 10 people on your team. Okay? Right. Now, if your team doesn't know what they're doing, how many sales will they make?
0.
0. And how much money will you make from that?
0.
So what was the point?
There's no point.
There was no point. So you have to train your people.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay. So you get 2 choices when training them, Aristida. You can sit them each down for 3 hours individually every week. So 10 people at 3 hours apiece is how many hours?
30 hours.
That's 30 hours a week of training people. That's a lot of time.
Right.
Or you can get their butts here for the 3 hours of training together. How long does it take us to train the people if we do that?
3 hours.
3 hours. Aristida, what if we had 100 people here? How long would it take us?
3 hours.
What if we had 1,000 people here, Aristida?
I hope you got a big office. 3 hours.
It takes 3 hours.
Yeah.
This is freedom.
Got it.
Okay? If you build a system that teaches people, one day you won't have to teach the people.
Yep.
Do you understand that?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Aristida, let's take out your calendar real quick, and I want to see, do you have any standing conflicts right now that you know, like, man, every Tuesday I have scheduled for work? Do you have any standing conflicts that are going to be a problem with any of those days right now?
Every Tuesday and Friday.
You say that. You ask them. I've never met somebody who has both
I know,
of
I'm
those
just messing.
days. Okay? But do you have any standing conflicts that you cannot reschedule to be at these? And guess what they're generally going to say? No. So they, Aristida, let's pull out our calendar.
And block
Let's
them.
put them in, and let's put them on repeating for the next 5 years. Okay? And I get them to put it in their calendar.
Done.
Right. And I set their expectations. So then here's what I say. Okay? So I say, Aristida, let me tell you kind of how I look at this. this is really how I'm going to look at my people to understand whether or not I'm going to spend time teaching them. Okay? You want to learn from the best person you can doing this, and I'm that person, okay? But think about it like this. Imagine you had a science class in college, and you walk in the day before the final exam, and you ask the professor, Professor, I need some help. I'm really not getting this. He looks at his attendance record, sees you've skipped half the classes. Aristida, what is he going to tell you?
Maybe next year.
You should have thought about that before you skipped half the classes. Good luck. Right? Same scenario. You walk in, the professor knows your name, you sit in the front of the class, you bring him coffee, you're attentive, you're asking questions. Is he more or less likely to sit and help you personally?
More likely.
More, right? And I'm the same way, Aristida. I'm going to bend over backwards to help you. I'm going to do everything in my power. You're never going to find somebody who's committed to helping you or resourcing to help you than I will be, as long as you do what I'm asking you to do.
Fair enough.
Aristida, if you're not coming to my stuff, we're still going to help you, but it's not going to be me.
Right.
Okay? Do you understand that?
I got it.
Okay. So I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to ask you where you were. Okay? This is your future. I'm doing great. I'm going to help you do great.
If
Okay?
you show up, yep.
But I need you to meet me halfway, and that's coming to these. Okay? So Aristida, here's what I teach my people. Unless you die or you're out of the state of Michigan, you come to these. Okay?
I
If
can
you
live
go into
with that.
McDonald's and you didn't feel good, you'd still go and open your McDonald's
Yep.
today, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I just want you to understand, right? And I'm being a little tough with you here, but look, winning is not easy. If it was, everybody'd be winning big,
You gotta
right?
show up,
So
yeah.
I'm going to help you develop this, okay? And you and I are going to build something great together. But we can't build something great if we're not doing that, because if you're not coming, when we recruit people and you're not coming, what do?
They're gonna
And what do
not
their
show
people
up.
do?
Yeah.
Right? And what's the point, right? So I'm going to teach you how to build an organization. In 3 to 5 years, you never have to work again.
I like that.
What if you could make what you're making now, or double or triple what you're making now, and never have to go into work again in 3 to 5 years? Would that be worth a couple of hours a week to build?
That's
Absolutely
absolutely,
it would
yep.
be, right? Great. Let's get that in your calendar. Do you see how I beat that horse to straight up death? Right?
Yep.
Okay. That's why my people come. And I still have people who don't come, but it's at a much lower rate than you do.
And it's on them. Yep.
Why? Because I've explained and over-explained and triple-explained why they need to be here. Here's the deal, you all, right? This is how I look at each and every one of you. This is how I evaluate you. You come to this stuff, great. You're going to win. Eventually, you're going to win. You can't stay around winners forever and not become one.
Period.
That doesn't make any sense, right? You get around winners for a long enough period of time, you're going to adopt the winning habits, right? Or you're going to disconnect. You're going to unplug. You're saying, this winning thing is not for me. I'm going to go hang out with the rest of the losers. That's what's going to happen. Yes or yes, right?
Yeah.
You see them. They're coming here for a little while, and then where are they? They're right back where they came from.
Yep.
Right? They're right back where they came from. But you stay around here, you start raising the level of leaders that are around you, and you start raising your level of leadership, right? What do they say? You average the 5 incomes of the people you hang out with, and that's what you make? Right? Well, here, that's a pretty good thing, right? As long as you're hanging with leaders and not peers, right? You understand? Hanging with leaders, hanging with winners.
A good example is if you look at, Emmanuel Earls. He just gets on a conference call once a day with us, right? And he got the Power Builder ring. That's impressive. That's how good this deal is, right? You just have to sell out to it. You sell out to, plugging in, and you will win. Just do it. If he can do it over there in Oklahoma, you can do it here
With no help,
Yeah.
all by himself.
Yeah, all by himself, just a conference.
He's making
That's it.
double what anybody else in his office is, right?
If they
So-
say they do have a scheduling conflict on Fridays, they can't make Fridays.
Okay, great. So I ask him what it is, and if it's a legit conflict, I say, listen, no worries. What we're going to do is we're going to commit to Tuesday and Sunday right now, okay? And then as you get going, we're going to start working around maybe making some changes. So that's not a big deal, but I need you to promise me you're going to be at that. Right? And I'm not going to hammer people who have legitimate conflicts in the beginning. I'm going to get them in slowly and let them
Sort it out.
sort it out. Yeah, which they will. They will. If they plug in and they like what we're doing and they see and they catch the vision, they'll figure out a way around it. Right? Winners will figure out how to win and losers will figure out how to lose, right? That's how people are. Okay, so I go through the meeting times with them. Okay, I explained to them what it is. Okay, this is in the orientation packet, so that's there. Okay, so again, you're talking about leverage and getting people to meetings and set their expectations. That's all you're doing again, right? This whole thing on an orientation is getting them to set expectations around what? Getting in the field, getting licensed, and coming to meetings. Nothing else. They need to know 0 other things. If they do those, I'm going to build something for them, right? And they'll figure it out later when they're overriding some people, right? By the way, people who override people never quit. Have you figured that out yet?
Yep.
I mean, rarely. They might quit before they get overrides when they leave people, but if they have overrides coming in because they're licensed, they got a team, they're going to sit on top of that deal until the earth cools. Seriously, right? It's free money. Right? I mean, I got people at the Troy office. I got this one leg. I mean, the guy who started the leg been here for 4 years. I don't think he's recruited more than 2 people a year for the last 4 years. This is making $500-600 a month, overriding one leg. He's not changing the world, but he's got free $500 a month. It does nothing. He's got 7-8 codes straight down from each other. Somebody's always producing in there. He's just sitting on the top of that deal, right? Well, you have 100 of them guys. You're gonna be okay, right? Okay. Any questions on that? Yes or yes? Okay. So, I'm going to talk to them about making their list. So, Aristida, your homework today. Now, listen, some of you that want to be real on top of your people, you get them to make calls on that orientation. Okay? I don't get them to make calls on the orientation simply because I don't need them to go and produce to survive. Some of you that are full-time, you need these people to get out there quickly, right? So if whatever you want to do on that is good. If you can get them to set appointments right then and there, more power to you. God bless you. I don't do it, again, because I don't want them to be overwhelmed. I want to reel them in, right? When do you clean a fish? After you catch it, right? Okay. So I want them to want it and to understand what they're doing, right? Before I'm like, hey, let's set and let's set and let's set. But if you want to do that, that's fine. I have no problem either way. How many of you get people to set appointments on the orientation?
Sometimes.
A couple of you. Okay, good. No problems there. Keep doing it, right? I just have never been, right? It's easier for me to just kind of keep them wanting to come back for a little bit more and then get them there, right? So anyways, what you'll talk to them about is making a list. So Aristida, if you were to start a grocery store, okay, the inventory that you would be hoping to sell to people would be what?
Everything
Food,
that I hope they need.
right?
Yeah, food.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you walked into the grocery store and all the shelves were bare in Aristida, there was no food anywhere, how much money would that grocery store make today?
I would go bankrupt right away. Nothing.
Yeah, none,
Yep.
right? Okay, good. Okay, and our inventory here is names and phone numbers of people to talk to about what we do. The more inventory you have, the more potential you have for sales.
Got it.
Okay, so this is going to be our top 25 list. Okay, so let me explain to you our target market. Okay, is married, homeowner, age 25 to 55, has kids, and is employed. 5 characteristics. That's called a 5-pointer. Somebody has all those 5. Okay? So what we're going to do is I want you to write down the top 15 people that you know that claim to like you, right? Your sister, your brother, that are at least 4 of those qualifiers.
Got it.
At least 4 of those 5. You need to write their name down, their phone number. Are they at least 1 to 5? Don't worry about called and result. We're going to make some calls together the next time, okay? But we're going to put them on a list. That's your homework. Now, if you want to do more, you can do more. Okay, now I want you here, okay, for people that are 3 or less of those, they can still be clients, but we're going to approach them a little bit differently. We're going to approach them as agents first.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 or more, we're going to approach as clients first, agents on the back. 3 or less, agents first, clients on the back, okay?
Got it.
So we're going to always present both, but how we talk to them is going to be a little bit different. And Aristida, I want you to really focus on some people that you know that are great in these areas. S stands for sales. Write it down. Who do you know that's a great salesperson? They're not pushy, they're not aggressive, but they're just really good at what they do. Who do you know that's a great teacher? Who's enthusiastic, super happy, the life of the party? Who do you know that's really ambitious, man? They're really driven, they're very competitive, right? And who do you know that's money motivated? They like nice things, they've got an expensive taste, and they need to keep that up.
I know you. You're enthusiastic.
Okay, good. So I'll have them write down. So people you think would be really great at this. And don't worry, Aristida, if you think they're going to be good or not. Don't judge them. Just put them down.
Got it.
Okay? Now, Aristida, this is going to be your top 25 list. But our goal is we have 1,000 people on the list. So you know at least 1,000 people. Aristida, you have a Facebook?
I have
You have a Facebook. How many friends do you think you have on there?
14.
14 friends? Okay. Great. How many people do you have in your phone?
2,000.
Okay, 2,000. Okay, great. So we're going to get them on the list. We're going to write them down. We're going to qualify them. So 2,000 is great, right? And our job is just to see them. Now, Aristida, do you think there's at least a couple people out of 2,000 want to make more money than they're making now?
I'm gonna call them right now.
Absolutely,
Yep.
right? Okay, and guess what? They're going to be on your team, and every transaction they do, you're going to make money. So we want as many of them as possible, right?
Yep.
Great. So your homework today is you make the list, and you've gotten an appointment setting CD that I'm going to give you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your job is to listen to that 5 times between now and when we see each other on Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
Right, 5 times. So when you come back, you know what we're saying.
Wednesday. It's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
So it's just like half hour, 40 minutes. So just as you're driving to and from work, right? Maybe one time at night, but just get the gist of it,
Got
okay?
it. Okay.
All right, very good. So now, right, I want the CD to teach them. So I'm not like here having to teach them word for word. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Right? It's like the worst thing ever, sitting with a greenie. They don't know what they're doing, and they haven't listened to it, and they're like, it's just crazy. So I make sure they listen to it before they come. So I say, hey, did you listen to it? Great. What are you saying to me? And I see how much they know, right? All right, everybody good with this? So on the orientation, they're writing the names down. They know they have homework to write the list, make as big of a one as possible, bring it back, right? Get it qualified and listen to the appointment setting CD. Right? Everybody good with that?
Mm-hmm.
So start the names list, ask them for the best people, right? The best people. Some of you who get people in, you allow them to take you to like the bottom of the barrel of their market. That's not what you're looking for, right? I'm looking for the best part of the market. Because if I can get into the best part of the market is going to get me to the best part of their market. So I'm always going to stay in a great market, and this can be easy. People be joining right and left, right? That's how it works if you take me to good people. Okay, right? I'll talk to them a little bit about their cell phone discounts. Do they have any of these providers, right? You have any of these providers? Yeah, you got your own service? Yeah, great. You get a discount. They're already making money. And I want them to understand quickly they're getting some value from that, even if they're not selling
It's
these
a
things.
business. Yep.
Yep. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Get them on the group me. When do you put people on group me? On the orientation. Okay. Why should you not put people on group me right when you recruit them?
It says, hey, I just recruited so and so.
Well, you can if you want, right? But they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's just like bing, bing, bing. Right? And they're going. They're like, what on earth is this? They don't know anything, right? So you want to put them on. The second thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be putting people on and then having them leave.
Yanked off. Yeah.
Because they can see, people can see that, right? Okay, right? So you want to put people on the group me that are in. They're in, right? You recruited them. They've now sat through an orientation. You get them on group me and you explain to them the rules, you all. Right? Because your people don't like getting kicked off, and the other people don't like seeing people doing stupid things. Okay? So what are the rules of group me?
You can.
Don't swear, right?
You
You'll
can't.
get permanently
You
banished,
can't
right?
post unless you're told you can.
Yeah, no, you cannot post, even if you're told you can by an overzealous upline. You cannot post unless you close.
Yep.
You can post results.
Post results.
And now
Close
they're allowed.
results.
Post
Not I set 3 appointments today.
Right.
Not somebody promised me they're coming to the meeting. Right, okay. Closed business. Right? Okay? Closed business. Or we'll kick you off. We don't want to kick you off. Okay? Secondly, they shouldn't be posting after what time?
10
p.m. Eastern time. They shouldn't be posting before what time? 8 a.m. Eastern time. Okay? Right? Very basic stuff. They also need to get the what before you put them on. The app. You know when you see people that don't have a picture, they just got 2 initials, they don't have the app. So that comes through as a what? A text message. You want to get texted 25 times a day? Well, me neither. Right? So these are the people who get pissed off. They're like, get me out of here. Right? Okay? So yeah, who is this? That's my favorite one. Who is this? And then they're gone, right? Okay. So teach them, but GroupMe is a really important part of building people into the fabric of the business quickly because they see people succeeding, they see people winning, they learn the jargon, they see when training opportunities are available, right? By the way, let's do a little coaching about you in GroupMe. Some of you have yourself muted on GroupMe. If you're muted on GroupMe, how are you getting information about what's happening? The answer is you're not. So I catch you when you ask me stupid things that are posted on GroupMe. That's how I catch you, right? Like, they asked me something I posted out 2 hours ago. I know you didn't look at it, right? So look at it and teach your people to look at it. Listen, if watching people win bothers you, you need to really have a checkup from the neck up, okay? Right? Because watching people win should encourage you. It shouldn't bother you, right? You understand that?
Yep.
Okay. Trust me, you're not upset watching your people on fantasy football bringing up points for you, and you ain't getting nothing from that. You're just wasting time, right? Living vicariously through others. This is your business. You should be excited about watching people who are doing what you're doing, making money and succeeding and helping families. Right? Does that make sense? So y'all still love me after that coaching, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I'll expect to see some of you off of mute later.
And he can tell.
So what is mute?
What is
You don't
mute?
let them
If you
know?
don't know it, don't figure it out.
Don't even explain it.
Notification.
No?
That's notifications.
Yeah, okay. So we're all done on that. The moral of this story, let me explain to you the process now. So you've done the orientation. Their homework is what?
Names and numbers.
And listen to the CDs, right? Okay. And when's the next meeting? 24 to 48 hours
Either with you
with me.
Yeah.
Again, right? And what is the goal of that meeting?
to get them to the next training.
Appointments.
Yep.
Appointments and book them to the next meeting. So you should have a meeting, one-on-one process with people. So you get them to Tuesday night, and you have a Wednesday or Thursday booked with them. Wednesday or Thursday, you get them to the Friday night. Friday night, you have a Monday or Tuesday before the meeting booked with them. And you do this, right, and you get people up and running. The only exception to that are people that are smart and figure out how to set appointments on their own. Don't you love those guys? I love them. I'm like, thank you, Jesus, right? Somebody who like listen to something and actually has some influence with people, right? The longer you're here, the more of your people will be like that.
Yep.
Right? Early on, you got to work with who you have to work with till you get to work with people you'll want to work with. Right? Okay? So that is the process of this. Most people shortcut this in some way or don't even get started on it, and they bring in people and nothing happens, right? So you've got to be constantly looking at, I recruited this many people, how many of them have come to a meeting? How many of them have I done an orientation with? Right? If I were you, I'd have a whiteboard or something, a spreadsheet. Here's the people I've recruited this month. Have they done an orientation, yes or no? Right? Have they come to a meeting, yes or no? Have they done an appointment with me, yes or no? And you watch your funnel, and you'll learn real quickly where you're deficient. Right? And then you fix it. How awesome is that, right? This is 100% skill. You have a problem, you get better at it. And it stops being a problem. You neutralize it. It might never be a strength, but you at least neutralize it, and you start getting better results, right? Because look, if you get people to plug into the meetings, eventually they're going to win. The meetings are the most important part. So you want people to take you to people, right? Okay? But even if they don't take you to people, if they just hang around long enough, sooner or later they're going to dumb luck their way across somebody. But if they're not here, they're never going to take you to anybody. You understand, right? You get that? Or if they're not here and they're bringing you to people, it's hard to build for them because they're not showing you the example that they need to be showing.
Yep.
Everybody understanding that? Okay, we've got about 5 minutes. I'll open it up for any questions. Anybody have any questions on this or on anything? We'll go ahead and ask it.
So, on the process you do, you recruit them.
Yep.
Then you set up 24 to 48 hours. You do the
orientation.
The orientation, they make a list.
Well, they don't have to make it with me there, but that's their homework.
That's their homework, and they listen to CDs.
Yep.
Then they get to a meeting Tuesday or Friday.
So I'm going to try to generally do my orientations before a meeting, if possible.
Okay.
Right? So I'm already going to be there. I want them already to be there. And I can sometimes do group orientations. If I got 2 or 3 new people all at the same time, instead of spending time with them one-on-one, I put them here and I teach them all at the same time.
Okay, got it. So then that you do the orientation, they go to the meeting, and then you set another appointment with them where you sit down with them and go over.
To set appointments.
To set
Not to go over, to set
not to go,
appointments.
to actually set appointments.
You actually have one more page in this.
I have a bunch of pages in there that I don't cover at all.
Okay.
I say, Aristida, here's some other information you can read on your own just to get a little more info. I'm not covering any of it.
I just wanted you to say
Yeah.
that people understand.
Do you talk about the 90 fast start?
None.
Let them read it. Yeah.
Yep.
I missed out on 8,500 bonus points because of that.
Yeah.
account, and I still want an iPad. So follow system.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we have people win iPads. They didn't even know what Engage for 90 is. They just get an iPad. Right? If they do this, they'll win.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care about them getting points for, and the guys that are, right, they start coming around for a little while and they're doing stuff. Guess what? They start seeking out other people and then they tell them about that.
Right.
Hey, what's your standing Engage for 90? I don't know. What is that? Well, let me show you. Oh man, I'm number 3. I mean, and then they start competing. You start showing people this crap,
Overload.
right? And then they're like looking at an app all day instead of setting appointments.
Or getting discouraged.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm like number 10,000 out of 10,001. Right? I'm winning. Right? Yeah, exactly. That's a great question. So again, spoon feed. If they want more info, they'll come where? To you. They'll come and ask you, or they'll start doing their own research, or they'll get on POL and they'll say, "Well, man, I was doing this. What's that?"
It's more a suggestion than a question. I see some people who are just overloading their on the orientation. They're telling way more than you just told us.
That would be called not listening.
Right.
Yeah. So you should listen and follow the process. This is a presentation, just like a kitchen table presentation or a recruiting presentation is a presentation. Right? You have clients here. My clients are you guys. I don't get clients really anymore. I do training people, but I'm not looking for personal clients. You're my clients. So I need to do a great presentation for my clients, right? To get them to do business with me, which is what? Take me to people, come to my meetings, and get licensed.
And that's it.
And that's it. Anything else is overkill. There's no need. There's no point. Zip it. Good.
You still need to learn.
No, I'm learning. Just
Good.
asking.
And you guys do them a little different, probably, but
No.
Not
I mean,
much.
yeah, but it works the same, right? Yeah. But you need to learn this because trust me, you don't want to be doing your orientations. Yeah. The faster.
Keep working.
Yeah. The faster. Listen, you all. This is one of the first skills I teach my people. Right. Even before they go to a recruiting presentation or something else, I teach them how to do an orientation, so I don't have to keep orienting their new people.
Right.
Right?
This
There ain't
is
no
it.
money coming in right on that. Right?
Yep.
So I can be out recruiting more people or doing profitable transactions in the field with people and not training new people that are coming in. Right?
So this is on virtual.
It's on virtual base shop. Yep. Any other questions?
Can someone show me how to put people in group me after this?
Anything for $5, buddy.
Hold on. Question what?
I said, what's your process in walking them through making the calls? Oh, especially those that are hesitant about making the calls.
So they've listened to the CD. I say, great. Who do you know you can get us an appointment with? Right now I'm looking at this. Who's this 5-star? Oh, that's my aunt. You got a good relationship with her? Oh, yeah. You confident you can get us an appointment with them? Yeah, great. Let's call her. What are you saying? I'm saying this. Okay, well, say that again. Change this. Say that again. And then, hey, here's what you do. You make calls with your people. You do not let them make calls by themselves unless they got a lot of influence. You got a lot of influence, they're good. But most people don't. So you watch them make calls,
And
right?
correct
Okay? And here's what you do with them, right? You say, look, Ryan, I'm going to be on speakerphone with you. If you run into trouble, here's what you're saying. You say, hey, hold on. And you got another call coming in and you mute it. And then you let me tell you what to say and you come back. If you run into trouble again, hey, hell, hold on. Right? And let me coach you through it. But if you're not there and they're getting murdered by themselves, they're murdering their list and they feel like a dog and they're like, I don't know if this is for me. If you're there, you're going to get the appointment. Worst case, you're like, hey, hold on. Tell him I'm here with you and he wants to talk to you. And worst case, I'll come in and say, hey, you know what? Ryan's brand new with me. He needs to get some training.
And he
thought
sucks.
you might be willing to help him out. No obligation. If you see something you like, obviously we'd love to help you with it. But if not, it'll be great for him to learn. Would you mind giving us 30 minutes of your time? It'd be really helpful to him. Boom. And I can come in and rescue that last ditch if I need to. Right? But I want to be there to catch you when you fall, because you're probably going to fall at the beginning because you suck, right? Okay? But you're not going to suck for long, because after every call, I'm going to say, Ram, man, great job. You got the appointment. Good thing it was your cousin, right? Because you said, right? It's not going to work long range, right? So say that back to me. Say it back to me. Say it back to me. What are you going to say when I say this? What are you going to say when I say this? And you do this for 2 weeks, that guy's great at setting appointments. You get a guy great at setting appointments, coming to meetings, sold, done. It's just time. Keep them plugged in, and sooner or later they'll succeed in a really big way. Right? Everybody get that? Any other questions? Going once. Going twice. Apparently our op night's going a little bit long out there. Steve, you got something you want to say?
I got
It is 8:03.
I got another question then.
Go ahead.
If we have time. So, what happens in the process if you somehow can't get the orientation in for a week and a half for whatever reason? What happens?
I think you do need to do a better job at selling the people on getting back together. Man, I'll meet you early, I'll meet you late, but I'm really adamant about trying to get back to people quickly. Because if you don't see them for a week or a week and a half, it's everything is slowing down. It's going snail speed, right?
When they talk to everybody.
Yeah.
The possibilities.
Yeah. Hell, by the way, what do you tell people when they leave the meeting, the orientation with you? Don't talk to anybody about this.
You do?
Oh yeah. Don't say anything to anybody about this, because what they're going to do is they're going to ask you some questions you don't know the answer to yet.
Yeah.
So when we get back together, we're going to call them. I'm going to be here with you. We're going to make sure we get the appointment.
And get the right
So
answers.
don't tell anybody you're doing it, right? Because you're going to get some people interested, and they're not going to know, or you're going to have some people that ask you things you don't know. Either way is not good, right? So let's set them together while I'm here with you. Oh yeah, and that way you keep people in, because they're not like, hey, I joined this thing. What do you think about it?
What
I
is
told
it?
them don't talk to anybody about it yet, until they're a little bit better prepared. Right? And then they come here, you put them in the 101 class, right? So they sit in the orientation, they see 150 people out here, they're like, well, this can't be too bad, because there's a bunch of people here, they all look pretty happy, right? Okay? And then you get them in a 101, the first class in 101 is armor. Putting armor on people. Here's what you're going to hear. Here's why it's stupid. Here's the truth, right? So now by the time they're out talking to people, they're like, all right, I kind of know what's going on.
What do you do with the sponge person? That
What's a sponge person?
that is ready to make the calls right away. They're ready to.
I say, great, Aristida, I want you to set 3 appointments. Stop calling people if you get more than 2 people who don't set with you.
Okay.
For any reason, stop calling. Don't keep calling.
All right.
You just call me. Like you and I really didn't make calls together, right? I mean, we did do it one time.
We called 3 people, they all had voicemail.
Right. But then I'm like, all right, you feel pretty good. You can get appointments to these guys, right? And then what did I tell you? If you get more than 2 people who tell you no, stop. And you're like, hey, appointment set. Appointment set. Okay, great. Here's a guy with some influence. And you'll call me if you have problems, right? Hopefully.
Yep.
If you don't, you're screwing yourself, right? Because you burn you through your list without getting what you need to get done. That's a good question. Any other questions on this?
At what point do you log in to Google to show them what they might find or tell them? Like,
Never.
Never done
Okay.
it.
I put them in the class, in the 101 class, I'm getting new armor. I do that.
But like, if you meet with them, you do their IVA, and then they go home, and then they scrounge around themselves, find something negative, and then.
So again, are they going to show back up or not? That's the question. You lose a percentage of people before they ever get to the orientation, right? Who are, but that's okay. I mean, if you are that weak-minded that you cannot critically evaluate information, it's probably best you're not helping people with their finances, right? Okay. Yes or yes, right? I mean, you let 18-year-old Tim, talk you out of it because he's living in his parents' basement. He thinks somebody's trying to scam him out of his $124, and that's like enough reason for you to stop pursuing your dreams. That's okay. You just stay over there, okay? Good luck, right? But if they have questions, they'll ask you. Say, I saw this. Tell me about that, right? But very rarely am I on a recruiting appointment. I might go to Google and show them some stuff to get them in, but rarely do I ever go and show them things. They'll ask me about stuff. Are you all